Hello, I'm Keith Hilson with the Schmidt Music Trombone Shop, and I'm back today with another instrument review specifically about the King 2BL small bore tenor. King trombones have been a gold standard, I would argue the gold standard in American professional small bore tenor trombones for going on 80 plus years, back to the 30s and 40s and beyond, and they've been such a go-to for so many great players for such a long time. And so they've done some subtle variations of these instruments, different materials. We know about the silver sonics and the silver tones, etc. with them, and some other little variations. This variation, 2BL, is one that we don't see as often, but I think it's a really great option as well. So the 2BL is the model that the King designed with the great trombonist Jiggs Whigham. It's a variation of the 2B lightweight slide. So I'm going to take a play on this so you can hear this in action, and then we'll do some more talking about it afterward. I'm going to be playing all of this today on a Bach 6.5 AL. Like I mentioned, the King 2BL is really a variation on the 2B. So the standard King 2B setup is a dual bore 480/490 with a little bit smaller bell. When Jiggs Whigham worked with King, they wanted to change things up a little bit. So the 2BL has a straight 491 bore. So it's a single bore 491 with a 7 3/8 inch bell. This one is in yellow brass, of course, and a lightweight slide. So that's part of the features that makes this a little bit different compared to some of the other Kings. Now, you can get the other Kings. You can get like the 3B with a lightweight slide, etc. But this really comes standard with the 2BL. And so the whole package altogether, I find, first off, it's a very, very lightweight instrument. It really is. It sits well, it bounces well, but you can feel the lightness with it. I'm not always a huge fan of the smaller small bore tenors. A lot of times when we're sitting in the 490 range, even 500 range, sometimes they feel stuffy to me. At the very least, I have to change how I play. Now, I think this falls into that camp where I had to approach it a little bit differently, but it wasn't insanely different, especially compared to the standard 2B, especially the modern 2Bs, which feel just really tight to me. This does not feel like that at all. In a certain way, this actually almost reminds me more of like the vintage 2B feel, where I can feel a little bit of resistance, but it's still open. At the same time, I'm not getting this compaction of the air where I feel like it's not wanting to respond at all. I don't think that's really happening, but I do have to change my air a little bit. I like it because of the kind of the bore size and the lightweight design. I find that, especially even that softer dynamics, it keeps a real clarity to the sound. If I really, really hold back and try to make the sound really, really warm and soft and kind of rounded at the outside, I can get that a little bit, but frankly, even at those softer dynamics, it still has a nice core and nice clarity to the outside of the sound. What I do find, and this is kind of what I would expect with this, when I start to push the dynamic, things shift in a real hurry. It's kind of like stepping on the gas in a sports car, where if you're not quite careful enough, you find that point, all of a sudden, it can take off on you, and it does get quite a bit brighter and edgier. Now, in a way, this kind of almost balances things out, because sometimes with some instruments where it has that real quick shift, because of how much air, how much volume you can put into it, it can get really, really edgy and super focused and almost barky. Now, some folks like that. With this, it's a little bit different. What I found, again, because I can't get that much air into it, I never really got to the barky point with it, but there was a pretty quick shift in that timbre. Instruments like this, I always kind of feel like are really great for players who are either doing just solely small bore work, so they're not worrying about trying to maintain a large bore tenor or bass or anything. They just, they're just doing small bore work, and they can kind of adapt their air approach to this. Or, for somebody who's doing a lot of really close in mic work, because again, with something like this, even at soft dynamics, you can get this really nice clarity to the sound. It's really balanced. Frankly, you can let the mic do more of the work versus you having to put a lot of sound out. Now, for me, I've been a 3B player for a long time, and I personally like the broader sound I get with that. I did find with this that the upper register was really nice and responsive. It's very, very quick and versatile moving between the ranges. Everything is really, really flexible there. I did find myself, again, pushing a little bit in that upper range. I like a little bit more of the 3B, the 508 feel, being able to open things up a little bit more and having a little bit more width to the sound. But for an instrument in this category with this bore size, I can adapt what I do to this easier than I can with some other similar instruments. So, overall, and again, I've been a King player. There's a sound to the Kings. There's a particularity that I think has always been attractive to my ear, and this certainly falls into that as well. And again, it's a model we just don't see as much of. When we see more people looking for either the 2Bs or the 3Bs, I think this is a really nice mid-ground, especially depending on if you're looking for a more efficient instrument, but you're not looking for something as small as the 2Bs. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any thoughts, if you have experience with the 2BL, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments. Of course, you can always reach out to us at tromboneshop@schmidtmusic.com. Shoot us an email. And don't forget, you can check out our website as well, shop.schmidtmusic.com, where we're going to have this and all of our other instruments available in case you were ever looking for anything. And of course, you can always find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. So thanks as always for watching, everybody.